Hello viewers, welcome to this tutorial. I'm here with the beautiful creation of Robert Frost, Dust of Snow. In this video, I shall cover all the important aspects of the poem which will help you in scoring high marks in the examination. I shall try to explain the poem in the simplest possible way. I'll acquaint you with flowchart technique. This tool will help you in recalling the flow and sequence of events of a poem or a story by forming mental pictures. You will be introduced to different poetic devices used in this poem. It's a poem of 8 lines only, but has layers of meaning in it. You will get an idea, rather have an understanding of the profound message hidden in the poem. Finally, you can also evaluate your understanding by answering a simple self-assessment test. So, let's plunge into the poem. Before I start explaining the poem, it's necessary that I tell you something about the poet. Robert Frost was an American poet. He is known for his realistic depiction of rural life. His works deal with ordinary people in everyday situation. His verses are still very popular even in the present time because of the profound and timeless messages in them. This poem too encapsulates the poet's sublime thoughts expressed just in 8 lines. And now the illustration of the poem. The way a crow shook down on me the dust of snow from a hemlock tree. It's a cold winter morning when the poet is beneath a hemlock tree which is covered with snow. The movement of a crow dusted some snowflakes on the poet. At the surface, this is what is the meaning of these 4 lines. But we need to explore and find out the symbolic or the deeper meaning of the poem. The question is, why has the poet used an ugly bird like crow and not any other good-looking bird? Or why has he used a poisonous plant called hemlock? Crow symbolizes doom, fear, death, and it's called a bird of ill omen. Similarly, the poet used hemlock, which typically is related to poison and death. The poet used these 2 elements of nature symbolically to throw light on his state of mind. The poet is in bitter despondency. He is very sad and dejected. The alluring pure white snow that adorned the poisonous hemlock was shaken by the ominous crow, eventually showering snow on the poet. Did this incident have any impact on the poet? Let's try to find out. But before I move on to the next stanza, I would like you all to remember the value points which I have listed for you. The poet was sad and depressed, and he used crow and hemlock in order to show his state of mind. He is under the snow-covered hemlock tree. A crow shook some snow particles on the poet. And now the last 4 lines of the poem. Has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had rued. The showering snow touches the poet with a refreshing feeling and changes his mood. The poet is no more bitter or dejected, rather he is filled with positive thoughts. He regrets that he had wasted some part of the day, but is now ready to follow the path of healing and not waste the day anymore. Thus we see every small act in our life can illuminate our soul and inspire us to be positive. This poem shows the poet's inner journey from a state of pessimism to a state of optimism. And the ominous crow's action leading to the snow shower is the life changer for the poet. Let's look at the value points. The showering snow was instrumental in uplifting the poet's spirit by stirring his heart. Thus his mood changed for the better, and the changed mood saved some part of the day which he otherwise would have wasted. The flowchart technique will help you to recall sequence of events by forming mental picture. In this case, we can simultaneously show the change that we notice in the poet's mood. The poet beneath the snow-covered hemlock tree. The poet was pessimistic, gloomy, sad, depressed at that point of time. A crow shakes snow on the poet. As a result, his mood changes. This incident saves the rest of the day for the poet. Why? Because the poet is now happy and optimistic, and an optimistic person is always more productive. Frost has used a number of poetic devices in this short poem. I shall explain each one with examples from the text. The first one is an alliteration. It's the use of close repetitive consonant sound. Look at the example here. Has given my heart. Sure, the close repetitive consonant sound is marked in red. Another example, and saved some part. Once again, as you can see, the close repetitive consonant sound S is marked in red. Consonance is a figure of speech in which the same consonant sound repeats within a group of words. Please mark, consonance occurs when sounds and not letters are repeated. You will understand better with the help of the example. Of a day I had ruled. Sure, the D sound of day, had and ruled is an example of consonance. Another thing that you must remember is that the consonant sound can be anywhere in the beginning, in the middle, or at the end of a word. A part of an object, when it refers to the whole or the whole to a part, is said to be synecdoche. Look at this example. Has given my heart a change of mood. Here the word heart stands for the poet's entire being. The poet experienced a change of mood, and that was not restricted just to his heart, but to his entire self. Symbolism. It's the use of symbols to signify ideas and qualities by giving them symbolic meaning that are different from their literal sense. I did mention earlier that a crow is said to be a bird of ill omen, and hemlock is associated with death, fear, danger, and other negativities. These two elements of nature have been used symbolically to show the poet's mood, his dejection, his despondency. Therefore, these two words are examples of symbolism. Another word, snow. Snow stands for purity, cleansing, clean beginning. As we have seen in this poem, initially the poet was very sad. It's only after bathing in the snow shower the poet's spirit uplifted, and he was ready to take the day in his stride. He also regretted the fact that he had wasted some part of the day, which he is not going to do anymore. Next figure of speech is an enjambment, a technique in poetry whereby a sentence is carried over to the next line without pause. Now this poem is a perfect example of enjambment. As we see, in these 8 lines of the poem, there is only one punctuation mark and that is at the end of the poem. We shall now try to understand the rhyme scheme of the poem. Rhyme scheme is the pattern of rhymes at the end of each line of a poem. The way a crow, we take this as A, shook down on me. This becomes B because me is very different from the word crow. The dust of snow, snow rhymes with the word crow, therefore it's A again. From a hemlock tree. Now tree is B again because it rhymes with me. So what's the rhyme scheme of this stanza? It's AB, AB. Rhyme scheme of the last 4 lines. Has given my heart, we take this as C. A change of mood, mood we take as D. And saved some part, here part rhymes with heart, therefore it's C again. Of a day I had rued, D once again because rude rhymes with mood. So what's the rhyme scheme of this stanza? CD, CD. I did mention that this poem is laden with meaning. Let's try to analyze the deeper meaning of the poem. The importance of small things in our lives. The poet urges that we must value and appreciate every small incident that happens in our life. A petty incident can be the life changer for us, as is evident in this poem. Another very important message of the poem is to nurture positive attitude or perspective in life. We have the choice to nurture either positive attitude or be otherwise. But practicing optimism will have a better impact on us because positive attitude creates happy people and happy people are more productive. This thought is very loud and clear in this poem. The poet was sad initially. The moment his mood changed for better, his spirit uplifted, he was ready to take the day in his stride. He also regretted the fact that he had wasted some part of his day. The refreshing and healing power of nature, the sudden shower of snowflakes from the hemlock tree, elevated the poet's mood and filled his heart with hope. Thus, the curative power of nature is evident. Supremacy and beauty of nature. If an ugly bird of ill omen can create positive influence, can it be called ugly or ominous? I don't think so. Thus, each element of nature has its own beauty and power. We have also seen the beauty and power of the snowflakes. The soothing touch of the snowflakes changed the poet's mood and elevated him from a state of pessimism to a state of optimism. A self-assessment exercise for you. If you are able to answer all the questions, that means you have comprehended the poem. And you are also able to retain the value points. So, take down the questions, pause the video, take 5 to 6 minutes to answer these questions and not more than that. And then play the video to match your answers. So get started. Which season of the year is it? Who's me in the given extract? What does the crow shower on the poet? What is the significance of crow and hemlock? Bring out the rhyme scheme of the stanza. Let's see how many you get right. Answer them. Okay, fast. And now you can check your answers. Which season of the year is it? It's winter season as the hemlock tree is covered with snow. Who's me in the given extract? The narrator or the poet is referred to as me in the given extract. What does the crow shower on the poet? We all know by now that the crow showered flecks of snow on the poet. What is the significance of crow and hemlock? I'm sure you all got this answer right. Time and again I explained to you, crow is associated with ill omen and hemlock symbolizes death, negativity, etc. So here these elements are used to show the poet's depressed mood. Bring out the rhyme scheme of the stanza. I'm sure you remember the rhyme scheme of stanza 1. It's AB, AB. So boys and girls, I hope this video has enhanced your understanding of this poem. God bless you. Take care.